The 14 research findings. A research was made by Luke on 2017 under the article Motivation Through Conscious Goal Setting. The research has the following findings. The first research finding is the more difficult the goal, the greater the achievement. The linear function assumes, however, that the individual is committed to the goal and possesses the requisite ability and knowledge to achieve it. Without this, performance does drop at high goal levels. In these research findings, it is focuses on the goal that the goal is the more difficult the goal, the achievement is greater. So, example, halimbawa niyan is, naghahangad ka ng mas mataas na goal, yung mahirap maabot. And then, natupad mo ito, nakakamit mo. So, yung achievement mo is nasa high level. Halimbawa, you want to be a seaman or a profession, teacher, professional. So, halimbawa, yung pagkakataon na yun, nakuha mo na. So, kahit mahirap yung goal mo, at the end, yung achievement mo, mas maganda, mas mataas, nasa high level siya. So, the second research finding is, the more the specific or explicit the goal, the more precisely performance is regulated. High goal specificity is achieved mainly through qualification. Example, increase sales by 10% or enumeration, a list of tasks to be accomplished. Thus, it reduces variance in performance, provided that the individual can control his or her performance. This is not to say that specificity is always desirable. It may not be in some creative innovation situations, but only that it has certain effects. So, in this second research findings, it focuses more on specific. So, this goal is specific. Itong research finding na ito is nakatutok lang to sa specific na goal. Halimbawa, ang goal mo lang is matapos yung research ng maayos, maganda, malinaw. So, nakapokus ka lang dun. At yung performance na gagawin nyo is regulated. Nakaplano, mga ganun. So, this research finding is focused only to be more specific or explicit the goal. The third research finding is, goals that are both specific and difficult lead to the highest performance. Especially relevant here are the many students that compared the effect of specific hard goals such as do your best. People do not actually do their best when they try to do their best because, as a vague goal, it is compatible with many different outcomes, including those lower than one's best. The aspect of intensity that has been most studied in goal-setting research is that of goal commitment, the degree to which the person is genuinely attached to and determined to reach the goals. So, in the third research findings, it is focused on the both specific and difficult to lead. So, ito, nakapokus din siya sa pagiging specific niya sa isang goal. Pero, nakapokus siya pero mas mahirap 'tong pamunuan, yung goal. Parang mas mahirap makakamit. Kailangan ng mas mataas na performance. Halimbawa nito yung pagkukumpara ng effect ng yung epekto sa kasabihang do your best. May mga ilang estudyante na even though they do their best pero hindi nila ma-reach yung point na kailangan. Ginagawa naman nila lahat pero hindi nila kaya yung ginagawa ng iba. Yung they do not do one's best. So, dun yung nagkakaroon ng difficult dito sa third research findings. The fourth research findings. Commitment to goals is most critical when goals are specific and difficult. When goals are easy or vague, it is not hard to be committed to it because it does not require much dedication to reach easy goals. And vague goals can be easily redefined to accommodate low performance. However, when goals are specific and hard, the higher the commitment is being required, which results to better performance. So, in the fourth research findings, it is focused to the critical. Ito po ay critical siya. Halimbawa, pag ang goals mo ay specific and difficult. Yung specific nga yung goals mo, pero parang kakaiba siya. Ito po yung critical siya. Critical. Halimbawa, yung goals mo is easy lang, madali. So, the performance required is easy. Madali lang din yung kailangan mong performance para magawa yung goal na yun. Pero, kapag ang goal mo is specific and hard, ang goal mo is mahirap, so, the performance required is more higher. Mas mataas dapat yung performance. Mas dedicated ka na gawin yung goals. So, that is the fourth research finding. The fifth research finding is high commitment to goals is attained when letter A, the individual is convinced that the goal is important. So, dito, ang commitment sa isang goal ay maa-attain natin kapag ang isang tao ay kumbinsido na ang isang goal ay mahalaga. So, and the letter B is, the individual is convinced that the goal is attained or that at least progress can be made toward it. So dito naman, halos pareho lang sila. Pero kailangan dito ng progress para magawa yung isang goal. These are the same factors that influence goal choice. So, yun na nga. Like what I said, kapareho lang sila. There are many ways to convince a person that a goal is important. So, dito, may mga ways para ma-convince natin yung mga tao na ang isang goal ay importante. In most laboratory settings, it is quite sufficient to simply ask for compliance after providing a plausible rationality for the study. So, dito, yung magtatanong natin yung compliance pagkatapos natin mag-provide ng mga plausible rationality for the study. And in work situations, the supervisor or leader can use legitimate authority to get initial commitment. So, dito, gagamit na tayo ng legitimate authority. Parang yung magko-command ka na para mas lalong mapadali yung pag-commit natin sa goal. Continued commitment might require additional incentives such as supportiveness, recognition, and rewards. So dito, pag-commit ng ating goal, ni-require dito is yung pag nadagdag ng incentives such as yung supportiveness, yung support, halimbawa, yung may pinapagawa kasi isang member mo. So, o may ginagawa yung team nyo. So, kailangan nyo ng support. Support from each other. And, yung recognition, i-recognize mo na halimbawa, may nagawa siyang mas nakabuti sa research nyo. I-recognize mo at bibigyan mo ng rewards yung member na yun. Financial incentives may facilitate commitment and performance, except when rewards are offered for attaining impossible goals. Her performance actually dropped. So dito, pwede kang magbigay ng financial incentives sa mga dun sa sa commitment, yung halimbawa, yung mahirap talagang gawin, tas nagawa niya. So para mas ganahan pa. Participation by subordinates in setting goals, joint goal by supervisor and subordinate, leads to higher commitment than curtly telling people what to do with no explanation. But is that not lead to practically significant higher commitment than providing a convenience rationale for assigned goal. Dito naman yung yung supervisor is siya yung nangunguna para sa magkaroon ng mas mataas na commitment. Yung halimbawa, yung sasabihin mo yung gagawin nila. Pero dahil mataas yung expectation mo, hindi mo ipapaliwanag. So, yung members mo na ang bahala. Kasi mataas yung expectation mo. Self-set goals can be highly effective in gaining commitment, although they may not always be set as high as another person would assign. So dito yung yung pagsiset mo ng yung sarili mong goals. Ito ay isa siyang epektibong paraan para mas lalong makumit, lalong mong makuha yung goal ng mas madali at mas maayos. Commitment can be enhanced by effective leadership. Relevant leadership techniques include. So dito naman, para ma-enhance yung commitment natin, andito yung mga leadership techniques. Providing and communicating an inspiring vision. So dito yung go provide ka ng inspiring vision para mas mapaayos yung ginagawa nyo, yung goal nyo. Acting as role model for the employees. So dito, halimbawa, yung role, ang gagawin ng isang leader is role model. May kasabihan nga na be a leader, not a boss. Maging isa kang huwarang leader, hindi yung boss, para mas mapaayos yung samahan nyo ng mga members nyo or ng employees. Expecting outstanding performance. So, mag-expect ka ng halimbawa, sa'yo, as a leader, ini-expect ng employees mo or ng members mo na yung performance mo is outstanding, so ganun din ang expect mo sa mga members mo. Promoting employees who embrace the vision and those who reject it, dismissing. So, i-promote mo yung mga employees or members mo na ginagawa yung vision na maayos. At yung mga hindi naman, i-reject mo o bigyan mo ng consequence. Delegating responsibility, ownership for key tasks. So dito magde-delegate ka ng responsibility. Yung sa pagmamay-ari. Tapos maglalagay ka ng mga key task. Goal setting itself can be delegated for capable, responsible employees. So dito naman nakapaloob yung goal setting mo. Goal setting itself para maging mas maging responsable para sa mga responsableng employees or members. Expressing genuine confidence in employee capabilities. So express mo yung yung express mo sa mga employee na yung pagiging confident nila sa ginagawa nila. Enhancing capabilities through training. So enhance mo yung yung mga kakayahan nila sa pamamagitan ng in the way of having a training and asking for commitment in public. So hindi lang nakabase sa iyo to sa kung paano mo i-handle yun. So magtatanong ka rin sa sa public para mas mapaayos yung leadership mo as a leader. Self-efficacy refers to task-specific confidence and is a key component of Bandura's 1986 social cognitive theory. Bandura shows that self-efficacy can raise by inactive mastery, persuasion, and role modeling, all referred to above. In organizational settings, inactive mastery can be assured by providing people with needed experience and training, and also by selecting people based on their skills and abilities. Persuasion may include not only verbal expressions of confidence but also giving people information regarding what task strategies to use. The effectiveness of role modeling depends on the attribute of model and on the person observing the model. So dito, nakapaloob dito yung pagiging role model mo. Yung pagiging isang leader mo. Be a leader, not a boss. So dito, nakapaloob dito yung sa self-efficacy ng isang leader. Be a role model. Sixth research finding is, in addition to having a direct effect on performance, self-efficacy influences. Dito naman is pagkakaroon ng epekto sa performance. Dito is na-influence ng self-efficacy. So, letter A is the difficulty level of the goal chosen or accepted. So, yung level ng goal nyo is dapat is yun yung pinili nyo at yun yung tanggap nyo para mas magawa nyo ng maayos yung goal, kung anong goal nyo. And B, commitment to goals. So dito nakapaloob yung yun na nga, pag-commit nyo ng goals. And the response to negative feedback or failure. And the choice of task strategies. So dito, yung pagkakaroon, yung mga response ng mga negative. Yung halimbawa, yung may ginawa kayong isang goal, tapos nag-fail siya. So, kailangan ng response. Para sa sunod na gagawin nyo ulit yun, alam nyo na yung kung saan kayo nagkamali. And pumili din kayo ng task strategies. People with high self-efficacy are more likely to set high goals or to accept difficult, assign goals, to commit themselves to difficult goals, to respond with renewed efforts to setbacks, and to discover the successful task strategies. So dito, yung having an self-efficacy is mas maganda daw para magkaroon ng yung commitment is dito is more likely to set high goals or to accept difficult. So dito, yung pagkakaroon ng self-efficacy is nakakatulong siya para mag-set ng high goals, and yung pagtanggap sa mga may hirap na goals. Thus, the effects of self-efficacy on performance are both direct and indirect through various goal process. So, yung epekto ng self-efficacy sa performance is meron siyang direct and indirect various goals process. Additionally, goal choice and commitment can be influenced through role modeling. So, para makomit yung isang goals, kinakailangan dito ng impluwensya ng pagiging isang role model ng isang leader. Tapos, needed din dito ng feedback. For people to pursue goals effectively, they need some means of checking or tracking their progress towards their goals. So, yun na nga. Kailangan nyo ng i-check lagi. Tapos, i-track nyo yung mga progress nyo para mas makomit ng mas maayos yung goals. Sometimes, this is self-evident to perceptions, as when a person walks down a road toward a distant but visible town. In such case, deviations from the path to the goal are easily seen and corrected. However, take note that this is in contrast with a sail goal, whose attainment requires scores or sail over a period of many months. Here, some formal means of keeping score is needed so that people can get a clear indication if they are moving fast enough and in the right direction. The seventh research finding: goal setting is most effective when there is feedback that shows progress in relation to the goal. When provided with feedback on their own performance or that of others, people often spontaneously set goals to improve their previous best or beat the performance of others simply as a way of challenging themselves. But this is not inevitable. The goal set may be higher or lower than the performance level previously achieved. The effect of performance feedback, knowledge of score, depends on the goal set in response to it. So, in the seventh research findings, it is focused on the goal setting and to the feedback. So, like what I said earlier, halimbawa, may isa kayong goal sa kayong project na ginawa. So, tapos, meron dito failure. So, kailangan nyo ng feedback para magkaroon ng response kung paano nyo maayos yun. Kung sakaling gawin nyo ulit yung goal na yun. And dito, mas matatalo yung mas may enhance natin yung performance by challenging themselves. Yung halimbawa, yung sa tingin mo hindi mo kayang gawin. So, i-challenge mo yung sarili mo. Challenge mo na. I-pursue mo yung sarili mo. Pursue yourself na I can do it. Kaya ko tong gawin. So, mas mas mai-enhance mo yung commitment mo to commit the goal. The eighth research finding is goal setting along with self-efficacy mediates the effect of knowledge of past performance of subsequent performance. So, this is yung goal setting pero kasama niya dito yung self-efficacy. Sa pamamagitan ng mediates the effect of knowledge past performance on subsequent performance. When people receive negative performance feedback, they are typically unhappy and may also experience doubt about their ability. So, dito, halimbawa, yung isang tao, isang member mo, halimbawa, nakatanggap siya ng negative feedback about sa performance niya. So, nagkakaroon siya ng doubt sa sarili niya. Yung parang tinadown niya yung sarili niya na yung about sa sa ability niya kung bakit hindi niya nagawa ng maayos. Those who can sustain their self-efficacy under such pressure tend to maintain or even raise their subsequent goals. So dito, yung mga tao na kayang i-handle yung nila, yung self-efficacy nila. So, sila yung tend to maintain yung nami-maintain nila para maging mas mataas sila sa ibang tao para mas magawa nila yung goal nila ng mas maayos. Retain their commitment, intensity, their search for better strategies. So, para magawa, makumit ng maayos yung goals. So, gagawa sila ng naghahanap sila ng mga strategies para mas maging better yung pag-commit nila ng goals. And thereby improve their subsequent performance. So, mas ini-improve pa nila yung yung performance nila. They improve their performance more highly, mas mataas. Those who lose confidence will tend to lower their goals. So, dun sa mga tao na halimbawa, yung na-commit nila na talo sila. So, kakaroon sila ng yung tingin nila na yung goals nila is mas mababa. Decrease their efforts and lessen the intensity and effectiveness of strategy search. So, yun na nga. Yung dahil dun sa na-commit nila na negative, yung yung efforts nila is nababawasan na. Tapos yung intensity, tapos yung effectiveness of finding strategies, nagiging lesson na siya. According to Bandura, changes in self-efficacy after experiencing failure may be affected by the types of casual affirmative statements people make. So, according kay Bandura, yung pagbabago sa self-efficacy is nakadepende sa yung sa experience. Halimbawa, naka-experience ka ng failure, so doon nakadepende yung pagbabago ng self-efficacy ng isang tao. The ninth research finding is goals affect performance by affecting the direction of action, the degree of effort exerted, and the persistence of action over time. So, Yung epekto ng goals is yung goals affect performance by affecting the direction of action. So, naapektuhan yung goals and performance sa pamagitan ng affecting the direction of action and the degree of effort exerted and the persistence of action over time. The directive aspect is fairly obvious. So, yung directive aspect is obvious siya. Yung halimbawa, yung halatang-halata na. A person who has a goal to maximize quality of performance will focus more attention and action on quality than on. So, yung isang tao na yung ang goal niya is i-maximize yung quality ng performance. So, naka-focus lang siya sa sa attention and sa action ng quality ng kanyang goal. For example, quantity or speed. So, yun. Quantity tapos yung bilis. When there is conflict between two or more goals, performance with respect each goal may be undermined. So, pag nagkaroon ng problema sa pagitan ng dalawa o higit pang goals, so, yung may mga respeto sa kanilang goals is undermined na pag-aaralan. Effort is roughly proportional judge difficult of the goal, which is why difficult goals ordinarily lead to higher performance than easy goals. Persistence refers directed effort extended over time. So, yun na nga. Harder goals typically lead to more persistence than easy goals. Yun. Dito naman is yung mas mahirap o mas mataas na goal is nagiging lead siya para maging more persistent than easy goals. Kasi pag easy goals kasi is easy lang yung performance mo, kailangan lang din doon. Ang required lang din is mas madali lang din. Given the commitment that take longer to reach and may require overcoming more obstacles. This mechanism operates almost automatically, or at least routinely, once a goal is committed to. So, yun na nga. Yung mechanism ng pag-operate ng ng goal mo, ng commitment mo is automatically lang. Automatic siya. Because most people have learned. So, dito na nga, yung natuto na yung karamihan sa tao. Natutunan nila kung paano maging mas makamit nila yung goal by about the age of 6. So, yun nga, bata pa. At the age of 6 lang, natututo na daw isang tao. That even want to achieve something, they have to. So, yun. Nagkakaroon sila ng desire. Yung sa mga gusto nila. Pay attention to it, yun. Nagkakaroon sila mas pinagtutunan nila ng pansin para makuha nila yun. And exert the effort. So, nag-effort sila and persist until it is achieved. Yun na nga. Ginagawa nila lahat para makuha nila yung goal nila. There is another more indirect goal mechanism that of tasking strategy or plans. Most goals require the application of task-specific procedure in addition to attention and effort if they are to be attained. For example, dito, example dito is, a student who wants to get an A in a psychology course needs to know to study in how to study in general, how to study psychology in particular, how to identify what is needed for an A in this course. So dito, halimbawa dito is yung isang student, yung yung pangarap niya is, ang goal niya is makakuha ng A sa psychology. So, ang required dito is pag-aralan niya yung psychology so in particular way, and identify niya yung anong mga kailangan para makuha niya yung A sa course na yun. And that course is psychology. And how to implement this knowledge, kung paano niya i-express yung knowledge, kung paano niya isasagawa. There are several things we have learned. Asa na yun? There are several things we have learned about the relationship of goals and plans. So, yun na nga. Alaman na natin yung mga ways